Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to be learning how to cut this beautiful bustier top, which can also be attached to the down bodies to make a dress. So if it's something you would love to learn, keep on watching, like, share and subscribe. So let's get right into it. The first thing is to take our vertical measurement. From the top here is our starting point and our shoulder line. From there I'm going to come down to mark my bust point, which is 9.5 inches. I'm going to mark that all the way to get a straight line. I will extend the line across. I'll come down to mark my under bust. From my shoulder to my under bust is 12 inches. I'll mark that all the way to get a straight line and I will extend the line across. Then from the shoulder again, I'm going to come down to mark my waist point, which is 16.5 inches. I'm going to mark that all the way and extend the line across. I'm going to add like 2 inches to the measurement, which is going to be our full length. You can decide to stop at your waist, so I just decided to add 2 inches to the measurement. So here I'm going to divide my shoulder by 2, and then at that point I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'll come here to mark my neck width of 3 inches. I'll connect from the shoulder slope into the neck width. So the next thing, I'm going to come here to mark my neck depth of 3 inches, and I'll connect from the neck width to the neck depth with my curve rule. And the next thing is to mark our arm length. How to get your arm length? You're going to divide your bust by 6, then add 1.5 inches. In my case I got 7, and I'm going to extend the line across this way. So this is our chest line, our under bust line, our bust line, our under bust line, our waistline, and then this is our full length. So I'm going to come here to mark my shoulder measurement here to get a straight line from up. Then I'll connect from the shoulder slope all the way to the point we just marked on the chest line. The next thing, I'm going to come here to mark the midpoint of this line, and the midpoint of 7 is 3.5. At that point I'll go in by half an inch. I'll come to the chest line, divide my bust circumference by 4. I'll mark it on the chest line, and I'm going to connect the points together to form my armhole this way. So the next thing is to mark our dart, and to mark your dart you are going to divide your nipple to nipple by 2. My nipple to nipple measurement is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. I'm going to mark that on the chest line, bust line, under bust line, on the waistline, and I'm going to extend that line all the way to the full length. So I'll come to the under bust line. At the center front I'm going to mark half inch here. If you're a plus size person you can mark 1 inch here. Then on the side front I'm going to mark 1 inch. Like I said, if you're a plus size person you can mark 1 inch at the center front and then 1.5 inch or 2 inch on the side front. So I'll connect that point like this. Then I'm going to come down from the bust line by half an inch. This is to prevent any form of sharpness or pointiness at this area, and I'm just going to connect with my cover this way and do the same thing on this other side like this. I'm going to come up from the chest line by 1.5 inches. It depends on where you want your top to start from. It depends on how high or low you want it. You can do 2 inch, 2.5 or 1 inch. So I'll just connect that line across. So I'm going to mark my nipple to nipple measurement on this line as well. Then I'll extend my dart leg all the way to that point. So I'm going to come to this line here. I'm going to mark half an inch here on the center front and 1 inch on the other side as well. This is our over bust tightening here, and I'm going to connect back into the initial line this way with my curve rule. So this is what we have. So we are going to create like a sweetheart neckline. So from the chest line I'm going to come down by 1 inch. It depends on how deep you want your sweetheart to be. You can actually leave it straight if you don't want to have this sweetheart effect here, and then I'll connect it back into the dart leg this way, and I'll connect from here also to our armhole like this. So this is what we have. The next thing is to impute our round body measurement. We've already marked our bust measurement. I'm going to replace this dart I took here so we don't have any shortage. Then I'll add my sewing allowance as well. I'll come to the under bust line, divide my under bust by 4. I'll mark it on the under bust, replace the darts, and then add my sewing allowance. I'll come to the waistline. I'm going to mark my waist measurement divided by 4. I'll mark it right on the waistline, then the dart intake there. I'm going to replace it, then add my sewing allowance. So what I have on the waistline, I'm going to bring that to the full length, then I'll connect the points together like this. So this is what we have. The next thing I'm going to mark right now is my bust dart. So this is the difference you have from your shoulder to your waist in front and to your waist at the back. The measurement is not the same, and the difference I have is 1.5 inches, and I'm going to connect that all the way to the bust point this way. So we are going to cut out this place, and this is all we have for the front. I'll go ahead and cut it out so we can work on the back pattern. Make sure when cutting your pattern paper you close down your darts. I forgot to do that, so that you don't, if your lines are not aligning, you can just adjust it before you cut out. So make sure to close down your dart. So we'll go ahead and cut the back pattern. I'm already gonna rule out the necessary lines we need. I'll come to the shoulder line, divide my shoulder by 2 just the way we did at the front, come down by 1 inch at that point for my shoulder slope, mark my neck width of 3 inches. I'll connect from the shoulder slope to the neck width, and then I'm going to mark my neck depth of 1 inch. I'm going to mark 1 inch for the neck depth for the back, and I'm going to connect it this way. I'm going to come down to mark my arm length. We are basically repeating what we did on the front pattern, and then I'll extend this line across. So this is my chest line. I'm going to come to the chest line, mark my shoulder measurement here to have a straight line from up, then I'll connect from the shoulder slope to the points we just marked on the chest line. I'm going to come to this line to mark the midpoint, divide into 2 halves to get the midpoint. I'll come in by half an inch at that point. Come to the chest line, divide my bust circumference by 4, then I'll connect my armhole. The next thing is to mark my darts. My nipple to tape measurement divided by 2. I'm going to mark it on the chest line, bust line, waist line, and all the way to the full length. I'll go ahead and connect the points together like this. Then on the waistline, I'm going to mark half an inch on both sides of our dart leg. I will do the same thing on the full length, and then come down by 1 inch from the chest line, and then I'll connect my dart. So the next thing is to impute our round body measurement. We've already marked our bust line measurement. I'll add my sewing allowance. I'll come to the waistline, mark my waist, divided by 4. I'll mark it, then the 1 inch for that I'll replace it, then add my sewing allowance. So whatever I have on the waistline, I'm going to bring it down to the full length. Then I'll go ahead and connect my markings together. So this is what we have for the back. So I'm going to come to the full length here and mark ½ inch. This is to prevent any form of bulginess around the waist area at the zipper allowance. We're going to cut out this place. So this is it for the back. For the neck I'll be using for the back, you can actually leave it straight like this, but I'm going to come down by ½ inch from the chest line and then give it like a kind of curve here, a very nice curve, and connect it back into the armhole. Like I said, you can decide to leave it straight like that and cut it out, but I just give it a little curve. So this is it for the back. I'll go ahead and cut it out. But before you cut out, if you are using a loop for your own, if you're using an eyelet, if you're using eyelet for your own, you don't need to add your zipper allowance. You can just fold your zipper allowance in this way, don't include it, then you subtract 2 inch or 1.5 inches from your measurement like this, so that it can snatch well, so that you can snatch it if you are using eyelet. So I mark 1.5 inches on the chest line, and then on the down part I mark 1 inch. So I'll be using eyelet for my own, so I don't need a zipper allowance. Like I said, if you're not using a zipper, then there's no need for you to include your zipper allowance. But if you are using zipper for your top, do well to include your zipper allowance. So this is what we have for the back. So you're going to sew down your dart this way, or you can decide to cut it open and join it back. You don't want to sew it. Like I said, I'm going to be using eyelet, so I'm going to cut out the zipper allowance. I don't need it. But if you are using a zipper for yourself, do well to include your zipper. So this is all we have for today's tutorial. It's a very simple tutorial. If you have watched to this point and you have not yet subscribed, please do well to subscribe before you go. Like, share, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.